Hi, boys and girls. I'm back for Chapter 3 of the third grade Angels. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I do every year. Chapter 3, Boink, Bunk. Boink! I heard the word and felt something hit the back of my head at the same time. I turned and it was Joseph. What was that? I said. This, he said. He held out a pack of gummy bears. Take one. Nah, I said, because I don't like gummy bears. And then for some strange reason, I heard myself say, okay. And I reached out and took a green one. Thanks. No problem. He took one, a red one, and stuffed the pack into his pocket. So, George, what do you think about all this angel bunk? It's not George, I told him. It's Suds. George is just on my birth certificate. I know what you mean, he said. I'm Joey. He sneered. I hate Joseph. Teachers always do that. He held out his fist, and I stared at it. Bump me, dude. Oh, I said. I bumped him. I guess I did it right because he didn't laugh or sneer. It was my first ever fist bump. So, what do you think about all this angel bunk? I heard him the first time. I didn't know what to say because, to tell you the truth, I didn't think it was bunk. I didn't really recognize the word bunk, but it sounded kind of bad. Oh, I don't know, I said. Where's it all come from? I recited the chant for him and I stopped at third grade angels. He sneered and he wagged his head. Dumb! We didn't do nothing like that at my other school. I was thinking, this is your school now. But I said, where's that? He gave me a name I'd never heard and said, so what's fourth grade? Rats, I said. His whole face changed, like he had just ripped open the very best birthday present ever. Whoa, rats! Now that's cool. I'm going to like next year. I'm not, I thought. We were standing by the fence near the swings. I saw you looking at her. Huh? I said, even though I knew exactly what he was talking about. Don't pretend, he chuckled. He poked me in the arm. And don't look away. You know you were looking at her the whole time. Who? I said. The cutie, he grinned. He nodded towards the girl on the swing. What's her name? Judy Billings. So you like her, huh? Heck no! He grinned. You were looking at her the whole time in class. I thought you were going to mash your nose into the back of her head. I was not, I said. He laughed and he poked me again. Things were getting complicated. I started to walk away and he grabbed my arm. Hey, he said, who's that? He was pointing to a big kid sitting on the bottom of the sliding board. A line of kids were waiting at the top to slide down, but nobody was telling the big kid to move. Gerald Willis, I said. The kid you were talking about in class? Yeah, he's a fifth grader. He was a rat last year? Yeah. And there he is at the bottom of the slide. He looks kind of grouchy. Was he the boss rat? Yeah, I guess so, I said. The way Joey was looking at Gerald Willis, I could tell he wanted to be the boss rat someday. Then suddenly he was running across the playground to the sliding board. He pushed his way to the top of the ladder, threw out his hands and yelled, Geronimo! And slid down right into the back of Gerald. It was like a monkey crashing into a gorilla. George Willis didn't flinch. Joey, faster than you could think, hopped up with both feet onto Gerald's shoulders, pushed off, and hit the ground running. Gerald Willis was screaming bad words after him, and Joey was only laughing. By the time he got back to me, his face was red and his eyes were flashing. He was gasping for breath, and everyone was staring, including Judy Billings. Her swing wasn't moving, and then Joey was walking over to her. He stood in front of her, still gasping, kind of hunched over. She stared at him. Her mouth was open. He turned back to me. His red face was grinning. His arms came up. It was pointing at me. He squeezed out words between gasps of air. He loves you. Judy didn't move at first. like she didn't hear him. Then her head started turning real slow till it stopped right at me. Her face was still the same, boggled, like she was in front of the front row of a movie. The only thing that ever moved was Gerald Willis. He was heading for Joey. I went into a coma, and then the school bell rang, and the kids were running in the door. I wonder what Judy's going to think about that. And I wonder if Gerald Willis is going to catch Joey. I don't know. We'll find out in chapter 4, Tub Talk.